If you've ever watched your chicken do something and thought, wait, is that okay? You're not alone. A lot of completely normal chicken behavior looks bizarre, even alarming, if you don't know what's actually going on. So today we're going through some of the weirdest looking things chickens do and what's really happening underneath each one, including one behavior that involves your chicken eating actual rocks on purpose. Let's start with one almost every chicken owner has seen. A hen suddenly throwing herself into the dirt, flapping wildly, kicking up a cloud of dust, and then just lying there, looking completely checked out. The first time you see it, it genuinely looks like something's wrong. But according to research on chicken behavior published in Applied Animal Behaviour Science, dust bathing is an important maintenance behavior. It helps remove excess oils from feathers, and research has linked it to both parasite control and temperature regulation. So that dramatic collapse into the dirt isn't a medical emergency. It's basically a spa day. If you want to make your flock happy, this is actually one of the easiest things to set up. A shallow box or patch of loose dry dirt, sand, or even wood ash gives chickens what they need to do this naturally. Some keepers go as far as building a dedicated dust bath station, and it's often one of the most popular spots in the whole run. Now here's where things get interesting. The pea comb looks completely different. Instead of one tall blade, it's small, low, and bumpy, made up of 3 little ridges running front to back. According to research published on the genetics of chicken combs, this comb type is caused by a specific mutation in a gene called SOX5, which changes how the comb tissue develops before the chicken even hatches. But here's the part that connects to something practical. Researchers have proposed that the smaller size of the pea comb helps with temperature regulation. In hot, humid climates, a smaller comb means less surface area exposed to extreme heat. And in cold climates, it works the opposite way. A smaller comb means less exposed tissue that can get frostbitten. That's part of why breeds develop for harsh winters, like the buckeye we talked about in a previous video, tend to have small pea combs. If you're choosing breeds based on your climate, the comb type is actually one of the first things worth checking. A chicken with a tall single comb in a cold climate is statistically more likely to deal with frostbite on those exposed tips than one with a compact pea comb, simply because of how much tissue is out there in the cold. Now here's one of the strangest looking behaviors on this list. A chicken suddenly going completely still, almost like it's frozen in place, sometimes even falling onto its side and staying motionless. This is called tonic immobility, and it's been studied by scientists for a surprisingly long time. The earliest written description of this kind of animal hypnosis in chickens dates back to 1646. According to research on the topic, tonic immobility is considered an anti-predator behavior. When a prey animal feels it has no way to escape, freezing completely can sometimes be its last line of defense. So if you ever pick up a chicken and it suddenly goes limp and still in your hands, it's not broken. It's running a very old survival instinct. In fact, this exact response is sometimes used deliberately. Some keepers can gently place a chicken on its back and trigger a few seconds of stillness, which is occasionally used as a calm way to handle a bird briefly, though it's worth remembering that for the chicken, this is its body assuming the worst, not actually feeling relaxed. This next one tends to freak people out the first time they see it. A hen pecking at and eating the shell of her own egg. According to sources on poultry nutrition, eggshells are made almost entirely of calcium carbonate, and hens that are running low on calcium will sometimes instinctively eat eggshells to help replace what their body used to make that shell in the first place. An occasional shell getting pecked at isn't necessarily a problem, but if you notice it happening often, it's worth checking that your flock has consistent access to a calcium source like crushed oyster shell, since frequent egg eating can also be a sign their diet needs adjusting. Some keepers go a step further and crush the shells themselves before offering them back, specifically so the hens don't start associating egg with food and develop a habit of pecking at fresh, unbroken eggs in the nesting box. Now here's one that looks genuinely strange if you've never seen it before. Your chicken deliberately pecking at and swallowing small stones, gravel, or sand. Not food, just rocks. This isn't a mistake, and it isn't a sign of a bird that's confused about what's edible. According to research on poultry digestion, chickens don't have teeth, so they swallow food whole. To break that food down, they rely on an organ called the gizzard, a muscular chamber that grinds food using exactly those small stones, called grit, that the chicken has swallowed on purpose. The gizzard's lining is tough enough to handle the grinding, but the grit itself gradually wears smooth over time and eventually passes through, which is why chickens keep deliberately picking up new stones throughout their lives. Research going back decades has shown that birds given access to grit digest food more efficiently and get more value out of every meal. So next time you see a chicken pecking at gravel like it's a snack, that's not random. It's restocking its own built-in grinding meal. And here's a small one that's easy to miss, but once you notice it, you'll see it constantly. A chicken standing on one leg while stretching its other leg, and the wing on that same side out behind it, almost like a yoga pose. This behavior shows up often enough that backyard keepers have given it its own nickname, chicken yoga. And it's not just an internet joke. Researchers studying chicken behavior actually classify it as its own recorded category, sometimes called a combined wing and leg stretch, typically performed one side at a time rather than both at once. It tends to happen after a chicken gets up from resting or during a quiet moment in the day. And based on what's been observed, it appears to be exactly what it looks like. Chickens stretching out their muscles and joints after being still for a while. The same basic reason any animal stretches. So if you catch your chicken holding what looks like a one-legged yoga pose with a wing stuck out behind it, it's not confused, and it's definitely not injured. It's just having a good stretch. So the next time your chicken does something that makes you go, wait, what is happening right now? There's a good chance it's not a problem at all. Dust baths, molting, freezing up, the occasional eggshell snack, eating gravel on purpose, even a one-legged yoga stretch. All of it is just chickens being chickens, backed by real research into how they actually work. If this helped you understand your flock a little better, hit the like button. It helps more people find this channel. And hit subscribe, because every week we break down another piece of chicken behavior that looks weird until you know the reason behind it.